let's look at this for just a moment. So here, can you increase the arch behind your back, lift your back a little tiny bit? And if you were to lift your head in this position, it would be pretty difficult. Can you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now go ahead and tilt the pelvis a little bit so that your lower back moves gently towards the floor, and now lift your head. Can you feel how that's a little bit easier? A little more comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So continue just a few more times. Great, and please leave that and rest your arms. Bring your arms down along your sides on the floor and pause a moment. It's important when you're doing these movements that you only do what's comfortable and easy. You don't want to feel any strain or pulling sensations as you're doing these Feldenkrais lessons. So remember to keep the movement in the range that it's really comfortable and where the movements can feel light and pleasurable. This time, put just your right hand behind your head. And now bring your right leg up over your belly or your chest and hold the back of the right knee with your left hand, so from behind the leg. So rather than in front of the knee, that's right. So rather than in front of the knee, today we'll do it with the hand behind the crook of the knee. That's good. And just let your foot hang down. That's right. And in this position, gently and slowly begin to lift your head using your right hand to help. And think about bringing your right elbow and your right knee a little bit towards one another. And then go back down to the floor. Rest your head on the floor for a moment. Pause. When you pause, let go of all of the effort of the movement. And then try again. It's completely unimportant how big of a movement you make. You'll find that when you do these Feldenkrais lessons, less is more. You'll improve even more significantly when you do a smaller movement and use less effort than if you try to succeed in making a larger effort in a larger movement. Now let's observe what can you do with your breath that can help this movement. Try breathing out and exhaling, letting all of the air come out of your lungs as you lift your head and bring the right elbow and right knee towards one another. That's it. Now, as you inhale, let your lungs fill with air as you lift your head with your hand. And observe what difference does it make what you do with your breath. Do you feel that it makes the movement easier or more difficult when you breathe in? And then once again, breathe out and feel how letting all of the air come out of the lungs tends to help the chest fold and the ribs come closer together. That's it. Don't try too hard. You don't want to go to the point where your abdominal muscles are shaking or straining. That's it. Good. And do the movement one more time and observe, where does your back press backwards into the floor? In order to lift your head simply, some part of your back must be going backwards, pressing into the floor. Where do you feel that most clearly? Great. Please pause a moment, bring your arm down, rest your foot on the floor, and you can just rest with your knees bent for a moment. The rests are very important in Feldenkrais because it's allowing you to make sense of the movements that you've been doing and integrate the information that's coming in from paying attention to yourself. The sensory motor information is what is valuable in doing these lessons. Your brain and your nervous system will be making distinctions about the way that you move and improving the quality of your movement as you pay attention to what you're doing. This time, interlace your fingers together once again and put both hands behind your head. And now bring your right leg up over yourself, over your chest or your belly, somewhere comfortable. And now using both hands, remember you can bring your elbows forward to make lifting your head a little easier. And you lift your head with both hands and direct your right elbow towards your right knee and your right knee towards your right elbow, just a little bit. Don't try and touch. It's completely unimportant how far you go. That's it. What can you do with your breathing to make this movement easier?